I slept. I made sure that I found a way through a cloud of haze. Every day I wept, found how to live through all them cloudy days. You know the mind's a maze with all its mixtures. It's always hard to get the entire scope of the picture. 1080p, that's you other busters, yeah, obsolete. Can't fuck with me, excuse my French, but I'm not discreet. I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I've learned my lesson. I learned 1996 birth, one of the greatest weapons untold. I'm destined to reach heights thought I could never see, but foolish thoughts rampage my heart and let me not reach the peaks that's entrusted to me. My belief shatter off past actions. I grieve, but grievance never really matter. It's how I choose to act differently in the coming battles to overcome my limitations and get out my shadow. But it's hard to wade in this water where it was never shallow. Fuck it, let me get the paddles. Fuck that now, let me get this castle. Fuck that now, let me get this battle.
Yo, 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 yo. Back at it again for the one time. It's your boy T Smooth. I know, new face. You know, I'm part of the crew. But usually it's our I wouldn't say leader, more like, our moderator, Sage. This man out here about to enjoy his best life for the next 5 days. I don't want to give him nothing to say we miss him. But he is missed, but I don't miss him. I hope a shark bites his left pinky off. But that's neither here nor there. It's your boy T Smooth. Thank you again for coming through for another week of Squad Nero, where we come at you with anime, DC, Marvel, podcasts, pop culture, everything under the sun, news, tangents, everything under the sun. Thank you for joining us again. As you see, we have Krakos, and we got Big Homie Nasty Nino. What, Krakos Corner? Well, huh? Your possession of that's your corner. Yeah, like an apostrophe on that bad boy. All right. Well, it's going to be nice, short, and sweet because we don't have our long talking moderator here, so we can get it rocking and popping and get in and get out. Oh, trust me, I know he's not, but I'm just saying. But here's the thing, though. There's a difference between your tangent and his tangent, because his tangent is where he always got to be right and he got to cut people off. There's a difference. Now, first of all, we came across the news that the great Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man from our growing up, the main man 50 grand, Spider-Man 1 and 2, 3 we don't talk about, but Spider-Man 1 and 2, near and dear our heart. This man might be, he's reportedly to return as Spider-Man in Doomsday. We already had a feeling that this was going to happen because since they did do No Way Home, we had all three of the Spider-Mans in there, so it was only right for Doomsday with this whole multiversal thing that one of them would come back along with Tom Holland. But since Tom Holland is reportedly not to be in Doomsday, but probably will be in Secret Wars, since Spider-Man, the timeline of Spider-Man happens, was it before Doomsday, or it happened before, right after Doomsday, right, D? Or now? Spider-Man, like the timeline of Spider-Man, didn't they say, because he's not supposed to be in Doomsday? Mm-hmm. I feel like I have like a sneaky suspicion that they're gonna put him in there some way somehow. Like, yeah, and especially Toby's going to bring in the money. It'd be smart for them to bring back Toby and Andrew Garfield. It'd be smart because then you can have them still there for Secret Wars when Tom Holland's supposed to show up. So it's like they have that meetup again, which I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the most iconic scenes in that movie, which is pretty dope with them fighting all the enemies over in near the Statue of Liberty. But what are your thoughts on? Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. They had automatically, like, before he made that wish, they had already started going back to their original timelines. I do not know. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it would, because technically they're all Peter Parker. So I think that would be like a small caveat that they have going on with that, where they'll still remember each other as Spider-Man. So I think that would be smart to keep it like that, so that they you keep that they already know each other, they already know each other's moves and the spider sense and all that stuff. Just keep that cohesiveness. Like, let everybody in their timeline. I feel like it would be a cool thing where that wish messed up them in their timeline, where Mary Jane forgets that um, Tobey Maguire is his that Mary Jane in that one forgets that he's Spider Man, to see how that would go. That'd be cool if they had like some type of update with that, or even with Andrew Garfield. I forgot who, because I knew Gwen Stacy knew, but I forgot who else knew that he was Spider Man in that universe. Yeah, I know. Still pissed off about that. Are you about to say something now? Mm-hmm. I mm, I think it's more of just to like add that multiversal feature in there, because if you look at it, they're bringing back some of the X Men characters, they're bringing back a whole bunch of other people. I think it's their way to close out that universe as a whole. It's possible that. Mm, I don't think it makes a big. Nah, they don't need to. They don't need to, because that we had that in the Spider-Man storyline. We don't need that for this. We don't need it for this. It would just be cool just to have them in there for like that one little moment to have them fight whoever they're fighting, and do the meme again. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. So, well, before you give that question, my whole thing is, I feel like it would be a cool little callback to this whole spell thing with everyone forgetting who Peter is. If they did, where let's say Tobey Maguire's Peter comes in, hey, do y'all know where y'all Spider Man is? Peter Parker, and they just hit him with a who's Peter Parker, and they don't, and it's like they don't remember him as a whole, like being a part of the Avengers and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Especially Doctor Strange. I think that would be like a cool little callback, and then like just a small portion, and then Toby moves on from that part. So what was your question now? Yeah, yeah, it could work, but you got to remember they're only limited to so much daggone time for Doomsday as a whole, especially with the amount of characters that they have in there. So I don't think, maybe if it's like an ending cutscene, yes, you can do that. But I don't think that it'll work for this movie where like Mayday Parker will have like talking points or even screen time as a whole. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think they said close to 3 for the first one, but the second one's gonna be about like 2.5. It's not. Mm-hmm.
They're in their 60s that probably want to retire soon and do other endeavors.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we got Tom Holland. He still wants to act and do other things. The one person that's the giddiest about being in Marvel is Ms. Marvel. So that we gotta have her here. Then we gotta build on that and have somebody else here. They need more star power. We don't know who's Black Panther, but they needed a Black Panther. that's going to be in the MCU. Because right now they only have Fantastic Four that's going to be here after, you know, these Avengers movies. So they're going to have to introduce a few characters in these movies here and there, but they're going to have some type of prominent role. Because I think 2.5 hours is enough to just, you know, mention some people. And then once, what's that called? Secret Wars runs around, we get another movie between that. Because if we get 3 Avengers movies, it's like, I don't even think the material that we got in this multiverse saga is enough for 3 movies. Because it's like, well, it is enough, but it wasn't
Mhm.
good
It
enough.
isn't. No, I agree with you. I don't even. I think it's both. I think it wasn't enough, and it wasn't enough good material. It's like both of those things. Yeah, it's just something that wouldn't work. But that's where that's like the only thing that I'm still kind of nervous about is I don't know how much of this is gonna be them trying to introduce, or at least not introduce, but maybe just like introduce the setup for new characters. Because I don't think that that will work. But at the same time, this the one thing I hate with Marvel, and they did this with the Infinity Saga as well, is you don't really know until like the movies are in production of what's gonna actually close out that saga. They do that whole timeline thing, but that timeline thing isn't enough because usually that ends up getting changed. A whole bunch of stuff end up getting switched to where either it's coming out at a later date or it's been canceled altogether. So I never really have much faith in that little timeline that they, you know, release at like San Diego Comic-Con or the other different ones that come out. So, and that's my problem is with this saga, we don't know exactly for sure yet if Avengers is gonna close the saga. We know the mutant saga is coming next, but we just don't know exactly what's gonna start that versus what's gonna end this current one.
Yeah.
But maybe if something came after that that could help bridge the gap. I just don't think all of it should be in these two of I just don't think you got it's too much to handle in this. You introducing Doom in this. You introducing it's ending with the universe being reset in subcapacity. You introducing a bunch of nostalgic characters and you're trying to continue essentially multiple it's not just one team storyline this time around. Like when the last Avengers movies came out, you could say, okay, yes, did it have different groups? Yeah, it had Guardians of the Galaxy, it had the Avengers, but for the most part, when it came to this threat with Thanos, it became something where it was kind of like everyone's an Avenger. I don't feel like you have the capability of doing that in these 2 movies because of the sheer number of groups that you have coming in. You got regular Avengers, new Avengers, X-Men, which we don't know how much if the X-Men are gonna have broken up teams. Yes, to your point, Fantastic Four. Like you introducing the storyline for these 4 alone is enough, to me at least, for what 5.5 hours is gonna be able to do. I just don't. Yeah, it's not. It's not it. And then I don't know if anybody like Eternals. Nobody from the Eternals is coming back, right?
Nah.
Okay, that's actually probably a good thing in this case because we couldn't really afford to use another team. Same, and then with Guardians, I don't. Well, I know we aren't getting any of the Guardians per se in the film, but there is a good chance because of his comedic relief that we could still see Star-Lord.
Well,
It
Star
just
Lord's
wouldn't be
supposed to
the
be. I think
entirety.
he's going to be coming back. The rest of the team's not coming back because at the end
Yeah.
of Guardians 3, it says Star Lord will be back.
Will be back. Yeah, okay. So I think Star-Lord, and it makes sense to have Star-Lord in this because as much as we might hate all of the comedic elements, they're still going to have the comedic elements. And Star-Lord is probably one of the easier characters for them to work with that within. But the question comes with, okay, that's why I know those mock images, like they told us not to believe them and that they fake, but something tell me that one image that we saw with him with the kids is not fake. Or like maybe the characters aren't those exact characters, but I genuinely think that whole thing with him and Wang Wan Wang. What's his name?
Wong.
Wong. Yeah. That whole thing with him and Wong training the kids. I do think that that's gone. I just feel like that's going to be something that happens. And I feel like right now they are in way too much. It makes way too much sense for the importance, or at least the possible importance of Wanda's kids and all of the material that's either come out about Wanda, that's come out in reference to these children, or that's come out or that will be coming out in reference to like the whole Ultra. Well, we got to talk about it later, but the whole thing with what's his name? What's
Ultron?
Vision? No, not Ultron, but Vision. Yeah, and us knowing that a Vision series is coming out as well, I think that it's going to lead to there being just a little bit more importance on these children, and I think one of the ways that that's going to be represented will be through Strange Academy. I also think that's like I see that being in the next slate, even if that's something where yes, we are talking about this being the mutant saga, is something that could very easily fit comfortably within a mutant saga. So like I think that that's going to be another team. That was sorry for the long diatribe in that. But I think that that's going to also be another team that has to get addressed in these movies. And I just don't know, like outside of those kids, I don't think any other new characters could be introduced if that is the case. If I am right and that is the case, yeah. It's too much. It's just too much.
Did y'all think Eternals was that bad where they couldn't even bring nobody back?
See, the bad part is it wasn't a bad movie, in my opinion. It was just
I didn't hate it.
It's like this. That movie answered a lot of questions, like why didn't they intervene and all the other good stuff, because we know the Eternals have been there for the longest time. But for them to have it where some of the characters are gone, but it's like what 3 or 4 left that's still dealing with judgment as we know at the end of that movie, like when are we going to see them back at some like you just left like a major plot hole. Like they've been gone for so long, going under judgment from that one creature or god or whatever it is, and you gotta at least have them come back in some capacity. Maybe just bring them back for Secret Wars. Like they just went through judgment. They see that Earth is not, because then wasn't he going to destroy Earth or something? If I'm correct, like he has to look over the memories and everything. It looked like,
wait, who
at the end of Eternals, that one god or whatever brought them, like grabbed them and said, "Hey, you're going under judgment. You didn't do what I would."
Oh yeah, that was the Celestial.
Yeah, the Celestial. So it's like at that
I just think that Marvel dropped the ball on that.
Yeah,
that's what I really genuinely think has happened, because I don't think any of that is being used.
That could have been another threat. Where, like, it could have been, hey, we're marking Earth for, even that Celestial could have been one off or whatever. I could care less. Where the Eternals sacrificed themselves to keep him away. You know what I mean? You could have did that to bring them back, and then shove them back off, so you ain't got to worry about them no more, and then we're done with the Eternals in some way, shape, or form. Could have done something like that. Like some cookie cutter way to get that Celestial out of there, where he said he was looking over the memories and everything to set judgment upon Earth if he was going to destroy it, because they were there. And if I remember, what was it? The Eternals come to Earth, they stay there, live through it, and apparently then all of a sudden the planet dies and they move on to the next one, if I'm correct, right? So it was like they were still protecting it and just living on that Earth. So he's like, "Oh, I gotta check your memories and we'll check over, and now I'll determine if Earth will stay available or it will get destroyed." We're still waiting on that judgment or his thoughts on that. Like,
I think they'll make a comeback in a movie, like on some surprise shit. Like they won't be like mentioned, but they'll have to mention them a little bit, because we did get the Celestial coming out the Indian Ocean. You know, there's got to be some type of investigation with the mystic side of Marvel. Like, okay, what is this thing called the ocean? What's the energy signature? How is it just here? Like that's something like maybe Wong and the kids could be trying to figure out. They could
That'd be
probably,
dope.
I don't know what happened, but they can't just leave that whole joint, untouched.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if that I forgot the dude's name. If he's going to be wielding the ebony blade and have some connection towards Blade.
Then I don't know if they going. That's the thing is that's where Marvel, like, a lot of it is just all over the place because we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with that. Is that even going to be a part of Blade? Is that still something that we're going to see in Blade? Or is that
Sure.
something where they just scrapped it? Exactly. It's just uncertainty. So I do think that, like, I wouldn't be mad in this case if Icarus was used in some sort, even if it wasn't the Icarus from that we've seen. If it were to be an Icarus, another Icarus. Well, hold on. Can they exist like that? Can Eternals can have there's like multiple universal versions of Eternals, right?
Yeah, because remember
Okay.
at the end of
multiple bodies that he made of them too.
Okay. So I wouldn't even be mad if there was another multiversal version of Icarus that were to be kind of used to see if let's see if we could kind of get some more interest. Let's play around with you, like, because people didn't necessarily like that movie, but maybe if you reposition the character, it could cause you to have some more interest, and then it could be something where that celestial aspect is something that they could dive back in the future. And this is kind of like the segue here. I don't think that would. I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at them if they did that, but I just don't think. I don't know what the deal is with Eternals. For some reason, even though I agree, I don't think that it was a terrible movie. It just was very poorly received. And then they may have kind of aimed a little bit too high by getting specifically the cast that they got, because I don't know if any of those people would come back. They may not. I know one guy is pissed at them right now. He's like, I don't want to play that role anymore unless Disney stops. It's a political reason, so I'm gonna avoid saying it, but it's the Indian actor, the one that was the Bollywood
okay,
star.
gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have anything to do with them at this current point. So and Angelina Jolie is an example. Maybe it's just like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. It's a one-time deal for me. A lot of them probably. Now, granted, what I remember we learned recently that a lot of them they were supposed to be they were contracted for way longer usage, like a 10-year span of usage. So, and I don't think we are outside of that window yet at this point. No, we definitely aren't. It didn't come out in 2015. I don't think so. But we aren't out of that window yet. So that still kind of leaves the door open for this idea. Like, yeah, they could potentially come back. But I don't know. In this case, I'm kind of happy in the case of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. I'm kind of happy that they are not in it, or at least there hasn't really been anything to suggest that they will be in it, because we just can't. It's too much already. It's just way too much.
I was gonna say, to your point, now it wasn't the dude from.
Whoop! It cut out for me. What'd you say?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
It was the dude that plays Moon Knight, Oscar Isaac, that said that, not the guy.
No, you're right. Thank you for correcting me. Because you're right, it was definitely the dude from Moon Knight. So then there's another character that's gone too that you can't use. So, which is, I mean, again, to be honest with you, in the case of this movie, it's okay. Like, I think it's okay. I think the people who don't want to be a part of Disney, or schedules are too booked, or whatever the reason may be, I genuinely think we got way more than enough. I was sad Daredevil likely wouldn't be in this movie, and I'm okay, but at the same time, I'm kind of okay with it, because Daredevil deserves his own little like sequence or something, and we can't do it. I barely don't know how we about to use Shang-Chi. I know Shang-Chi will probably appear in the movie, but I don't know where is he going to fit in all of this.
But you realize with Eternals, like that was at a time where people was like, "Oh my gosh, they force feeding us this DEI." You had an Eternal that couldn't speak. You had a black dude. You had an Asian dude. It was like a couple Asian people, I think. So
Mm-hmm.
that was one of the backlash things about it. People's like, "I'm not going to see this." They just forcing it on us. So I guess Marvel's like, "Okay, we just gonna have to, give the good stories now instead of trying to force it in there."
Yeah. That
Mm-hmm.
don't it ain't worth it because we know that that's going to be something that's going to make people that's going to already begin to cause people to detract from the movie. And that's the thing about doing like a part 1 and a part 2 is like you got to like really be confident that part 1 is going to kill it.
Yes.
So they can't really afford, and people don't have the highest faith with them right now, so they can't really
Mm-hmm.
afford to play around too much in this case.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, in other Marvel news, we have some images of Ultron on the set of Avengers Doomsday. Not gonna lie, I'm interested in seeing how they're gonna use Ultron in this one.
You know the only thing I hate about it?
What?
Ultron gonna be in this media that follows suit. So unless it's like a multiversal Ultron, like a Ultron from another place,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be kind of disappointing because it's like, what way are you gonna use him in Doomsday, and then use him again in Vision Quest or whatever it's called?
Yo, T, real quick. I remember seeing these photos. I just looked, but this is from Asia Ultron because he's been circling around for a few months. Like I just checked online. I just checked and somebody posted these on Reddit like 7 months ago, and everybody
Really?
was saying no. These are from Age of Ultron when it came out.
The fact checking
Okay.
today.
Thank you. Well, in other news,
I remember seeing that dude hold the joint. I'm like, no, that looked too familiar to be on Doomsday. And they've been holding shit too tight for Doomsday for us to be able to even see Ultron. Like,
well, with that being said, thank you for fact checking.
I would like for he is supposed to be in Vision Quest though. That's like confirmed.
Yeah, we know
correct?
that. We know that for sure.
Yeah. So, and I think that's good enough because Vision Quest is gonna be before Secret Wars, right?
I don't know.
I know. That's what I was trying to figure out. I'm like, is that before? Is that like 2020? Let me see.
Oh, you said before Secret Wars?
Yeah. Vision Quest.
Yeah, they said for 2026.
That's when it's supposed to come out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fine, and I think it leaves the door for Ultron to possibly appear in Secret Wars. We don't need him in Doomsday.
No, hell no.
We don't need him in it. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, yeah.
We can't hear you, T.
Something clicked out. Oh, he may have muted it. Did he mute it? Because he brought up Wonder Man. I know we was gonna talk about this.
But like you're saying, just real quick on these teams that we got coming in these movies, bro. A lot of these X-Men characters a little too old. Like,
my apologies on that, gentlemen. You know, family call.
No, you fine.
Usual. But yeah, Wonder Man. They're saying they.
Hold on. Before you go to that, T, D, can you finish what you were saying too with the teams?
Oh yeah, I was just saying with the teams, like when they announced the cast, it was like, okay, this is cool, but then I realized like the dude playing Nightcrawler, Alan Cummings, is 61. And I'm like, damn, like
bro.
These teams are gonna be like one and done in these movies just to show us these characters and give them a send-off. And that's why I think in Secret Wars, like once they create that one cohesive Marvel universe, we just gonna get a whole reset and get everybody in there because this is nobody in their 60s gonna want to be
Yeah, I would like if we could see some of those characters that like since it's a like here I was thinking about this a lot deeper one night too. Since it's a reset, right?
Mhm.
What is the reason why we couldn't say, okay, the characters who you saw before the reset in Avengers Doomsday, the reset is going to feature a different version of them, but it's the same characters to where it could still lead us to the same things that we will be having in the next saga, the mutant saga in this case. Like if you had the reset
Mhm.
and the only team that I guess is a question mark for me in this is well, two teams. The one team I feel pretty confidently is going to make it into the reset is going to be the new Avengers. But Fantastic Four, like don't get me wrong, I want them to reset, but I'm pretty confident they won't be reset with the in film reset
They don't.
because they just introduced. Not only did they just introduce this team, not only did the movie perform very well, but you just think about we know that Franklin Richards is going to be used to some larger capacity. If you make them any younger, it's going to kind of diminish the idea of this child. Like you will almost have to get rid of the child itself because it wouldn't make sense if this was a first year form team for them to have Franklin. And Franklin is supposed to play a larger part. Do they make Franklin kind of displaced where they get rid of everyone else, but then they introduce a younger version that's a completely different, and then maybe like that's the whole thing for whatever they use the direction with them for is that this is another Fantastic Four that was a part of the reset, but they're the ones who take care of Franklin. I mean, maybe you could do something like that, but I just don't with the other pieces to this, i.e. the film just had success with these actors, i.e. this is our it will be our second showing and third showing with these actors. Yeah, I just don't think that they going to
Not with
reset
Pedro
them.
Pascal either.
And then then there's Pedro Pascal. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I just don't. I don't think that the Fantastic Four will. I don't think that New Avengers will, because I think that those are two things that, based off their performance in real life, they will want that to carry over from the reset, anyways. But the X-Men, none of these X-Men characters are original MCU X-Men characters. So like if you show Beast in Doomsday, I don't have a problem with you showing another person who's playing Beast, who's the reset version of Beast. Same thing with Cyclops. Same thing. I think it'd be a great opportunity to introduce some of these characters. And the boy and Wanda's son that we saw so far,
Billy.
that was in
Agatha
what was
all
he?
along.
What was that?
Agatha all
Thank you.
along.
Yep. Yep. That Wiccan, yep. So Wiccan, I don't know where, I can't remember correctly, but I think Wiccan was going to college.
At what point? At the end of Agatha all along?
Mm-hmm.
No, he went to go look for his brother Tommy.
Okay, in the beginning of it remember when he was with his boyfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Was that were they going to college? Were they in college?
No. He was looking like he had this feeling where he was missing something, like looking for his mother or something, and that's when he took that drive with his boyfriend over to the city where WandaVision was. They wasn't going to college.
Do we know how old they are?
They were 18, 19 at that point. Probably like 17, 18.
Okay, so college age.
Yeah, college age.
I'm imagining some time is gonna pass throughout all of this, like between Doomsday and Secret Wars. I think that this, let me see, I know Gambit is supposed to be coming back in this. Okay, can I take Channing Tatum's Gambit, have him do give a little bit more of just everything that everyone wanted from his performance as Gambit, give them that truly in this Doomsday movie, and then for the Secret Wars movie, can I have a younger Cajun actor and maybe a young Rogue, and maybe a young Cyclops.
They can hold off on giving me another Gambit. I need about 3 more movies with Channing Tatum. I need 3 more movies.
See, and I wonder if that's going to be the sentiment on it. I wonder if that would be the sentiment of it. I don't think that's going to happen.
Or at least one more.
If it's not going to happen, that's what this would be, though.
I think that
this movie.
But the thing is, I want him to finally have his own Gambit movie. Give me that.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Or you can do a Gambit and Rogue movie. You know what I mean? You could do that. You could do that. Nah, man. I need that messed up Cajun accent. I need it.
A Gambit and Rogue movie, no, but I think Channing Tatum's portrayal of Gambit was like popular enough where people wouldn't mind him staying around though.
Yeah, give me 3 movies.
Is he though?
Yeah,
I mean, he did always want to play the role.
Yeah, he does his own stunts and everything. Like, come on, man.
He was tied to a role for like 7 years doing that. They canceled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he like, nah, like I got the opportunity now. Like I'm definitely do it.
Okay, well then you make him kind of like one of the larger leaders for whatever is the X-Men, like whatever are the X-Men characters that they take from this. I'm sure you could find a comic book story where Gambit had to lead a team, and you can just reshift that around here.
The problem is, I went and I did a little research. There's speculation that the X-Men team that we're going to see is going to be led by Cyclops and Jean Grey. It's not going to be led by anybody else, which that's the usual thing anyway.
Right.
I feel like we could keep Channing Tatum as Gambit, but have him more off to the side, like how they did in '97. And typically, how it usually is, you don't want too much of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You do want Cyclops to lead, but now that Gambit is popular, it's like, okay, he could be on the team, or he can make appearances here and there. You know,
make his action sequences a little bit longer than any other side character.
Yeah, exactly.
Credit card. He got to say that one time. He got to say that. Say it. Credit card. When you play Marvel's Capcom 2 and he throws the cards for his attack, he says credit cards. I got to hear it one time.
Okay. I'm with that. Cyclops and Jean leading it. So the cool part with Professor X and Magneto is that if it's it really all depend on how we would be getting these characters. Like if we're getting them from Doom, then it wouldn't make sense, at least to the point that D always makes, and I do agree with, it wouldn't make sense to have a younger Magneto, specifically Magneto, because his story is so integral to the Holocaust and that and all of that, and it's just that's an integral part of Magneto. But now if we got the characters through displacement, then you could get a younger, because all you'd have to say is that the Holocaust just happened in this other universe and he was pulled away from this other universe, and you can make him young.
Here's the thing. We already know that homeboy Patrick Stewart, this will be his last movie. Yeah. It's his last movie as a whole, Doomsday. Let this be the old Magneto's, like that way you can have a send-off of Professor X and old Magneto, and in the process you have the young Magneto and young Professor X there, John McAvoy and the other guy that played Magneto, as like a where they can continue on going into Secret Wars. And then that way you can fully set up a new X-Men team per se, where you're closing out all these characters chapters that's in all these old movies that we were in, that we enjoyed, in this multiverse fashion, where you're giving them their send-off, where they have that last little bout that ends up offing them and all this type of other stuff, you know what I mean? That way you close it out, and that way you can open the door for the new mutant saga at the end of Secret Wars.
Y'all think they really gonna keep McAvoy and what's his
I don't.
No, just keep him for these 2 movies and set it up where they say something like, "Oh, we're gonna run in some way, shape, or form. We're gonna run with this team right here," where you introduce the new X-Men like near the tail end of the movie, where you don't give them too much screen time, but enough where everybody's excited for what's to come.
Yeah, I agree because I think a lot of people are gonna be dying in these movies.
Oh yeah, so, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like want some. It seems like if you're gonna have Cyclops and Jean lead the team, they need to be younger. Easily, you could have them in the remade universe be younger. That shouldn't be hard to do. I think to your point, if we want to keep Channing Tatum's Gambit, then to D's point, we just kind of push him to the side because he doesn't exactly work, but he won't exactly work with the kids at least. But you can,
he could be a mentor.
yeah. But even if we just want to take it away from that, it could be something where he leads another team, and that team could possibly be composed of X-Men that are kind of like surfacing in this remade universe.
Well, at the same time,
And that,
you don't
as an
need to
example,
have
that's
him-
where we could possibly get somebody like Rogue as
but-
well. It may be an older
Well,
Rogue, but who cares?
But here's the thing: you don't need him in the new X-Men team up. That's
what I'm
coming down the
saying.
line.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
I get you. I understand. But my thing is, just make a separate Gambit movie. They did it for Black Widow. That's what I'm saying.
I
Don't have
agree.
it tied
I think
to any
that-
of that, but then have him in one of these movies that will come to the tail end of the multiversal saga, and at the end of it, he just goes back to his wherever multiversal timeline he wants to go to, and you bye. Like you do that with everybody.
Yeah,
like, once
I think-
all the timelines are back in line, do that, and you don't have to. Like my thing is, I said about 2 movies. Give me one random Gambit movie where it's like, just give me a Gambit movie. I don't care who he's fighting, what it is. It just does not have to go with what's going on in the future. Just like how Black Widow was, even though granted it's set up, the new Black Widow, like just Yelena, like have it just, you got one grandiose thing. Make it like a Deadpool film where you have a lot of callbacks, you have a lot of people showing up, all our favorite characters. Dang, have Halle Berry show up. Like, we never really did. We have a Gambit in the old X-Men movies?
Yeah.
We did. Like,
Or just Wolverine.
Okay, that's the X-Men Origins, but I mean like the X-Men with Halle Berry and all that stuff.
No.
So you bring some, like, do like a callback movie like Deadpool versus Wolverine, but you could do it with Gambit.
But
Do something like that. Make it fun.
I think you can make it fun, but bringing back Halle Berry and other people, it would be like, okay, but now we already ended the multiverse saga.
No.
So
Well,
then it's
my
like,
thing is, if you look at the Deadpool Wolverine movie, it really, none of the characters really mattered except for Wolverine, where pretty much they pulled him out. X-23 is there, but we don't know where they're going to use her. But everybody else, they went back to their own timelines. We're still waiting on Blade. We know everybody's still alive, but they're in their own world or their own universe. That's what I'm saying. None of their stuff is messing with where we're at now, per se. What I'm saying is, make a Gambit movie before he got to the. Make the Gambit movie before he got to that world. No,
I don't think that. I think what you would do with Gambit is just let him be the search and secure, or the guy is searching out. He is given a task by either Professor X or given a task by Magneto, and he just goes and searches for the new X-Men that we know will be popping up throughout the world. Because if the X-Men is going to now be in the world after these 2 movies, then it's going to, I imagine, operate very similar to how it operates in the comics, where they just people pop up randomly with powers. And I think you could use the time that he's using to search for different people and possibly facing threats along the way. I think you could use that as an opportunity to explain what was like for him. That's if he remembers what life was like for him before the reset too, because we don't know if that's going to be the case or not. If the people that do make it over to the reset are actually going to remember that they existed in this previous universe.
Mhm.
But if he does,
so y'all gotta remember, he was born that little void shit. Remember, he's like, I've been here since I was a baby. Like, this all he knew.
Mm.
So he didn't
maybe
he didn't really have a
M-
life. And I'm thinking if they're gonna close the multiverse saga, it's like just ingratiate Gambit into the new X-Men. Because if you say we're gonna do a Gambit movie with Halle Berry, it's like, well, now you already brought her back. You brought all these other people back. If you keep bringing them back, these movies and these character deaths not gonna have any weight, and these movies are gonna be popcorn flicks. And what you building up is just gonna turn into another multiverse saga where it's just like a lot of empty cameos that don't really move nobody. So if you did a Gambit movie, I would say like you have to do it into this new universe they do. And like while T is right, he is gonna be a popular character where it can kind of be like a Blue Beetle or a Booster Gold type movie, and it could make a lot of money because you don't want to do it where it's multiversal and then they're like, damn, the
Yeah.
Gambit movie made 800 mil. Now we got to do a Gambit too. We got to ride the success with it. So it's got to fit somewhere within that story where they build it. I think the best place for him to be would be with this new X-Men group that's coming in, kind of like how a Hugh Jackman was. Maybe not as prominent of a role as Hugh Jackman had in those X-Men movies, but definitely as one of the older X-Men that's kind of guiding the New Mutants.
Youth.
Yeah, guiding the youth to.
Yeah, but what if they just like mad young and he the only one? So okay, let me ask you this then. Aside from Gambit, is there any other character on this new X-Men team that should exist in the same capacity that Gambit does? And if so, who?
What you mean? Like,
So if we were to use Gambit as the example for this, right? To be that older figure on this younger team for whatever that team looks like after the reset. Do you think Gambit should be the only person like that has that role within the team, or do you think there should be more members that are like that within the team?
well, I think there should be probably like one or two members because Gambit being older, he can. I mean, but I mean, how much wisdom is he going to impart? Because he really didn't have a life. He was always just fighting.
Right.
So it's like I think Wolverine, if they go on a Hugh Jackman route, or if they go on Wolverine in general, should be the one that's like the older guy on the team that's steering them in the right direction. And then you also have Professor X. So you can have Gambit, Wolverine, Professor X, but I don't think it should be too many older people because X-Men got to be around for another. X-Men
Yeah.
going to be around for, a good 10, 15 years. So
You
they
think
want
Hugh
to go younger.
Jackman?
No,
You think Hugh Jackman about to be on a team?
I don't think Hugh Jackman's. They might joke around till U90, but I really think like Daphne Keene could take over as Wolverine. I think
Yeah.
she got the acting chops to do it. People want to say
Oh,
no, but I'm like, yo,
nah, they bugging.
she can definitely be that Wolverine and just be stepping in, and they could bring in a Wolverine or do whatever. But I'm like having her as the Weapon 23 or whatever, have her be the main Wolverine and then move from there. But and then have Channing Tatum, but I don't think they need to be bringing in too many old people because if they have Professor X, Beast, Wolverine, Gambit, or and Gambit, that should be more than plenty.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that a lot. I really like that. I like the idea of having X-23 and Gambit because the MCU always do something different too. Have them be your older member to these kids.
Because my thing for him,
Cyclops is kind of like the leader, but there could be something. I think maybe playing a little bit off of the animated series, where it's kind of like, can you really lead this team now and have him that be his development is actually like developing into being a true leader because people are looking at him and they like, I'm not listening to you. I'm doing my own thing.
Okay,
And him
Miles.
having to figure out how to bring it all back together.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I think that would be good because you have X-23 and Gambit. They've been in that void for a minute, and they were literally fighting for their lives. So they already know what it is to be part of a team. But if they're already embraced by Xavier, and like how Wolverine was talking, or I forgot somebody's talking about Wolverine, how Xavier would, oh, his sister. He's like, Xavier would love you if you found this and this. Like, that's probably the same way, they would feel if they were embraced. Gambit and X-23, like, damn, we got a family in this X-Men. Like, we know what it is to work as a team. And they're not going to be like, we should be leaders because they had Elektra as a leader. They had Blade that was a leader. They had Gambit that was there. And even Magneto was part of that team and passed away. So it's like, they know what it
Yeah.
means. If you bring them in, they can kind of like be on the team and look to Scott for direction, but they wouldn't have to be trained in teamwork, so to speak.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I like that.
Mhm.
I'm with that. I'm rolling with that.
All right. Cool. We got like 2 more topics to hit. First one, I know it's gonna be pretty quick because we all, me and D stand on this one collectively. Brainiac will be the villain of The Man of Tomorrow, which is coming out July 9th, 2027. I don't care.
I do.
I
I'm
don't
cool with this.
like. I'm gonna go see it, and if I enjoy it, I enjoy it. But I like just if Crypto's not in it, I probably enjoy it better. But there's a good chance that dog's still gonna be in it in some capacity.
You hate that dog.
I don't like that dog.
And now it's not that we hate him; it's just the fact that I feel like, and I put it this way: Brainiac will be good in this movie because we've seen what James Gunn can do with villains like High Evolutionary.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
But if Superman and Lex Luthor are teaming up for a movie, and them niggas getting any type of trouble,
buddy comedy.
we need a dog to fly through a ship to save them. That is going to diminish a lot
Everything
that went on in that movie.
Yeah.
If Crypto is in the movie, fine by me, whatever.
I don't think he will as much in this one.
No, well, my thing is this:
much,
if
but
you
I
show
don't want him
Crypto in the
ruining that
beginning,
moment.
getting taken to with Supergirl to go somewhere, and it's like a funny moment, I can rock with that. But as long as he's not in the other hour and 40 minutes of this movie, I'm good. He could be in the first 10 minutes, like a little jokey joke, and he's like tossing her around.
I think it would. I don't think that. I think it was just because everything was an introduction with this first Superman movie. That's why I think you saw the dog as much as you did. But I think as time goes on, you won't need to.
So they can intro Crypto's butt out this movie in the first 10 minutes. They can go with Supergirl somewhere. I'm fine
It'll just
with
be
that.
it'll be a couple of clips.
Yeah.
That's more than likely what it would be. It would just be a couple of clips.
It could be like a,
you see you maybe see the dog 2 or 3 times in the movie, but I don't think it would be like overwhelming.
I don't need that. My thing is this: it's like this. Let me say this one thing, D. At the end of the movie, we saw that this is why the dog is the way it is. Like no command, no control, no nothing. Dog just do whatever it wants. They can do it where they open this movie up. He's hanging out with his cousin and the dog still roughhousing with the cousin, and he asks her, "Hey, how's training going with him?" Oh, have her say something stupid, and then the dog just start doing crazy stuff like he usually do. And then you can see them in the next scene getting ready to take off to some other planet because they're about to go on vacation. She about to take the dog somewhere to a kennel or whatever. I'm good with that. I am good with that. You have a little moment with Supergirl, got a little moment with Crypto, laughy, jokey, first 5-10 minutes of the movie, send it behind off. And then we got the lock-in with Brainiac, Lex Luthor, and Superman. Maybe I'll enjoy the movie at that point.
And I think just for us to take Brainiac seriously, because we see Lex going to jail at the end of the movie. So for Lex to come out of jail, to be working with Superman, there has to be some type of trust established a little bit to take on a threat like Brainiac. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be other heroes sprinkled up the movie. I think they're going to start doing that now anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got Superman and Lex working together for Brainiac, it's like, this is not the movie for a dog to be biting people's feet and coming to save the day like Crypto just flies through Brainiac's ship at the last second and saves Central City. Because then you're gonna be like, like my nigga James, like at what point can you take it seriously if you always got to add this moment of levity in there, especially with a dog? Because now it doesn't make Superman look super,
Right.
Yeah, I'm kind of with T. I'm not excited. I feel like Brainiac would be good. They want the dude from people saying like fan cast want the guy from Dexter to play Brainiac. You ever see Dexter?
No, yeah, I've seen Dexter, but the problem is
they're like actual Dexter playing him.
Yeah, no, but the issue is though, Brainiac's not some one-off character. That's the thing that's going to kill me on this. like take him down to some capacity where he's like on a microchip or something, where he's still like some functioning program somewhere, but he's not out there in the universe anymore, and they got him like in this one little chip or this one computer where he can't go nowhere else, and they can still communicate with him, or he finds his way out of there at a later movie and becomes a bigger threat, or starts working with Darkseid some way. I don't know. Like I don't want him just getting destroyed and just getting deleted off somewhere. I'm getting like Brainiac is probably one of my favorite villains when it comes to DC because of what he can do. With me working in technology, the stuff that man do is crazy, bananas. But like I said, I don't care. I just don't care. We'll see how this movie goes. I'm still gonna see it. I just don't care.
Okay, I understand your sentiments in it. I don't know if I hate it. I don't know. I didn't hate that movie, so it's just hard for me to see myself hating it.
Homie,
this
you
idea.
entitled to your opinion. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to sway nobody. I just didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know who make a killer Brainiac, bro? Like, I think Daniel Day-Lewis. Nigga that played Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, no, I'm.
Or hear me out. If this was a younger dude, Jeremy Irons. Depending on the iteration of Brainiac.
Yo, the dude who played High Evolutionary and he got a good rapport and did well with James Gunn. Why can't we bring him back?
No.
Brainiac?
No. You gonna have all these people saying that is not my Brainiac. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
He's
that.
green.
That's
He's
not
green
my
and purple.
Brainiac. That's not my Brainiac.
Bro, honestly, at that point, we got to start looking at ourselves and being like, this is gone out of hand, gotten too far out of hand. Because, like, he's green. Anybody that's green they're not gonna be played by the adequate color in this film.
I do think if he casts well, I'm not saying people can't act, but depending on who they cast or have the look for Brainiac, it could really be a good villain. But we know James Gunn's style, but this is High Evolutionary was evil, but he wasn't as intellectual as you would have thought.
Yeah.
But if you got Brainiac, it's like, bro, like this is somebody Lex Luthor should not be able to comprehend. Like this is somebody Lex Luthor.
I think that black guy could pull it off.
You want to know who should play him?
I'm talking about the writing of the script. I don't want Brainiac doing shit. I don't want Crypto to be on the ship and Brainiac be looking at Crypto and then they both tilt their head to the side on some stupid anime shit. It'll be like now you taking it out of the movie.
So my thing is this. I feel. Have you ever seen the show Mr. Robot?
No.
Give me Rami Malek as Brainiac.
Okay.
He is good. He is good though. I know who you're talking about.
Give me him as Brainiac. I will sit there and watch that day one.
He was in The Devil's Double, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He also played Freddie Mercury in the Bohemian Rhapsody movie.
Yeah, he would be a great Brainiac.
Yes. Because you look at his face, like literally, it's like he's built. Not to say like he should, like a stagnant type of character, but he has that face that it calls out to technology. Like you can see him being like that stoic IT type of person, and like throw him with Brainiac and all other stuff. And the way he talks, he already like when he talks, it seems like he's talking like a machine.
Yeah.
You know,
I would be cool with that.
Yo, you know who they trying to say they want as Brainiac, bro? I just saw somebody say they want as Brainiac.
Giancarlo Esposito.
They want Sterling K. Brown. Dog.
I just can't see it.
That is not my Brainiac.
It was Brainiac, bro.
That is not my Brainiac.
Hey, I just couldn't see it. I wouldn't want that.
No.
I wouldn't want. I just don't. That's not the best pick for that role.
No, it's not. No. Just keep him in Invincible as that villain. Just keep him in there. Well, moving on from that, Brainiac, we're looking forward to seeing who they cast for him. Rami Malek. I hope they cast right Rami Malek. I really strongly hope they don't do anything like Sterling K. Brown, because that's not my Brainiac, as some people might say, of a lighter hue. But all three of some of us here have seen Predator's Badlands. I'm not sure if you've seen it, Niall.
I have.
You have. Okay. Quick
I have
discussion on
seen
this, and we can close out. I gave that movie a 7 out of 10. Solid straight out the gate. It was a great buddy cop movie. It was awesome. That annoying robot for half the daggone movie just talking away. I'm gonna be honest. I enjoyed it. It was I kind of like the idea of the Runt trying to show that he can hold his own in his clan and not just be off for being weak, as they say, and he's not really weak. We can see that he fights within the first 5 minutes. It's just that his brother had the upper hand on him. That he can fight. So, in the fact that you see that he has literally two things to work on. One, he was coming back. He was trying to kill the Callus. And two, he had a second plan. I'm going for my daddy. He killed my brother who protected me. I protected him. Nah. Hands on deck. Along the way, he was trying to find himself and his fighting abilities and kumbaya with the creature, which we end up finding out is a baby Callus. And I ain't gonna lie, it took me a second to realize that's why the Callus didn't try to eat him, because she smelt smelt her baby's spit on him and the pheromones, which is kind of cool. It took me a second to realize, especially when the Predator spit back on him. What is his name? Deck. Yes. And I think the thing that really annoyed me, I understand when we spoke in our group chat about the humans, but it wasn't really anything human about it. It was just the robots were set to carry out an order for the world. But it was mainly the robots, because if they added humans in this movie would have been rated R. When you're working with robots and different creatures and stuff, you can make it PG-13 and go crazy with the action. So with that being said, I wish if the robot talked less and was about business a little bit more, I'd have been okay with that. But I get the idea, she hasn't really been out of the ship. She does the research and she's trying to see everything and understand everything. But at the same time, she was just mad annoying. I am not gonna lie. I wish she had an off button or a mute button.
Yeah,
but
I think,
go ahead, D.
I was gonna say I was gonna have it at a 7, but I'm gonna give it a 6, bro. I have to knock it down a score.
Understandable.
Only because we see he's the run of the litter, cool. But the first time he gets to that planet and he's getting all his tools out and he's fighting, and he doesn't even go back for stuff or check the ship. It's he's I'm on my own. I gotta prove myself. I'm this is cool, but I wanted him to learn a little bit more on his own. When he saw that beast pick up that rock and drop the rock so the things could shoot out, I wanted him to I wish he could have seen the beast do that first, so he would have known that. I wish he would have seen some other things to show yes, I'm the run of the litter, but I'm still very resourceful and I'm very intelligent. Having the android tell him, oh, they want food or they want snacks, or watch out for that, it's gonna shoot out those things, or this thing is gonna do this and that. It's oh my gosh, can this nigga not learn on his own?
Well, the problem is he couldn't learn on his own unless another beast ran out in that field and that happened. If him not knowing what was going to happen, he would have got caught and ate up easily. He would have never figured out that stuff was poison, because he would have instantly died and the beast would have came down and ate him. So he would have.
I wish he would have observed that first. If he when he crash landed and just been walking around, and he's he about to walk through the field, and then there's a beast roaming through, or something running through, and then that or if he sees something tiptoeing, right? And then he sees that dragonfly and drop the rock, and he's oh, those things must shoot out poison. And that way he could have learned and been okay, he's observing a little bit more. Off the rip, having the android save him and then just talking for the whole movie, I'm yo, this some Timon and Pumbaa shit right here.
It's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
I thought the action was good, cause I was how you the run of the litter and he's fighting these tree snakes, and then he beheaded the callus the first fight. Granted, the head grew back, but I'm like, this is what his dad feared, and he went up there no problem and just beheaded the joint. It was like, all right,
Nah, the part
but
that
I'm
took
like,
me out was when that first beast that he killed, when the sword, like he threw the sword and like cut right through the middle. That way, the way that was animated in CGI, that was fire. That was
yeah, but
fire. I really enjoyed the way to do it because it was like he was flexing on him, like he was Dagon Akuma from Street Fighter.
like the weapons was cool, like the ice grenades. I did like the blade, the heat up blade or whatever. I'm like, that's dope. And
Mm-hmm.
then because I was wondering why he didn't have the cloak like for his visual. I'm
He had
like,
to earn for it. He had to earn it.
bro,
Man,
that's
to
what I'm
earn it.
like. But when she's like, I seen many Predator come here looking for it. I'm like, oh, I guess none of them joints had it because
They had to earn
they
it.
didn't
They had to
earn
come
it
back
back.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I was
but
mad at
I'm
the end when he came back with her sister with the android skull and just threw at his dad, and he was like, I come back for revenge. It was like, nigga, you threw that little skull. Like, I'm like, come on, bro. And then when he beat his dad so easily, I was like, bro,
Yeah.
I was like, what's going? I understand he's out for revenge, but he didn't learn that much on that planet to be an experienced predator that beat his brother, who was already part of the clan. It was like, bro, all of this happened so fast, and he just beat his dad and took the cloak, and then it's like, who is that? And I'm like, dang, he brought the android with him and the callus. And he's like, oh, that's my mom. Like, what?
see. I'm gonna be honest. The one thing I did not like. I'm gonna tell you my biggest gripe in the movie. Remember when Tessa went to the ship and she sees everything and she sees the shoulder missile. How was she able to figure that out that quick and be able to utilize it on her body? That's the thing
Yes.
that like annoyed the heck out of me, especially on that last bout where she was able to instantly just use it right out the gate. Ancient that ancient alien predator technology, like it's got it. I understand robots, but at the same time, it's like you at least got to show that she had to spend some time trying to figure this out, or even when they were interrogating Deck and trying to figure out what that one weapon was, which is a kid's toy that kind of blew up in Homeboy's face. Which I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting there crying, laughing. I, it just like showed that the Predators like weapons didn't mean anything to me because
Yeah.
I'm so used to them that like that thing just like pee like that one that's like their Plan Z
Yeah,
type of
bro.
weapon. They don't use that unless
Yeah.
they need to because they're taking their prey out with their knife thing coming out their arm, their swords, whatever. They never use that unless they needed to. And for her to just be able to use that like that, I don't know, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. At the end of the day, like these predators, like you said, they're supposed to be predators, but this whole movie, he was the prey when he landed, like from the beginning, when his dad had, like, it was like, yo, off your brother, he was the prey the whole time, being the runt. For him to, yeah, he becomes the predator at the end, but it was like, yo, like, the predator's supposed to be the predator. You had him looking like a sad little prey the whole time. It's like, can he get the upper
And I
hand?
think they gave him a name.
Deck.
Like, giving them the name like the Yautja. I liked it when they were like more alien and not figured out by other people. It's like,
Yep.
oh, I've seen many Yautja before. Like, damn, like he's not. It's not like he's a. It's not like the Avatar. Like, this is a
Yeah,
predator,
bro.
and you just screaming Yautja. Yautja is like, yo, bitch, like you know what they're capable of. Why don't you just shut up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. Even if you are a droid, like what?
Yo, did she not remind you of like Mantis mixed with Drax?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I'm like, why is it like fish out of water making jokes? And then I'm like, I hated that they was trying to turn the predator into this emotionally intelligent hunter. It was like, oh, but he did save us, Dak. He did do this, Dak. And it was like, yo, like this is really taking me out of him trying to be accepted by his clan because he got all these emotions and he feeling sorry And then he's like, no, let's go save his mom. Like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're really not a predator. I don't know
See,
I don't even know if they're gonna title the next movie because it's not Predator.
But my thing is this: like when at the end when the mom rolled up, he's like, "Oh, that's my mom." I never knew the mom predator to be like this big bad type of individual. Like,
Bro. Have you ever seen a female predator?
no, we've never seen a female predator before, ever. Don't look it up because you might end up with you end up going down a whole search path. Don't even try to research that.
The way they going, it's gonna be the most over the top predator ship that we've ever seen. It's gonna make Arnold Schwarzenegger's predators look like babies. The mom will come out cocky as hell, big as hell, strong as hell. It's gonna be like, no, the males aren't as tough as the females. You know how Hollywood going right now.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to sound sexist, but it's like I'm not even trying to sound like the people we talk about when they hate diversity. But it's like if he killed his dad off that fast, you know his mom is gonna be a serious problem because he's like, oh, that's my mother, and he was standing there battle ready. So I'm like, all right. Like,
I would have ran that shit.
It doesn't seem like is the Predator lore one in which it operates in as a primarily a matriarchal society.
I'm not sure. I gotta do research on that.
Because if it's not like it, Predator always gave me vibes of a very patriarchal society, and that there was always like a male king in this case. And it's okay if they go a different route. It's just I wonder how you exactly weave that into this very apex predator-esque it's almost like macho. It's almost like this macho-esque. And not saying that you can't do it and you can't pull it off. That movie with what's her name? Viola Davis with the female
Viola
warriors
Davis, playing Viola Davis.
Yeah. But that is to say that you can have matriarchal systems that also can present a very machoistic kind of posture, but it just with the Predator it's kind of like there's this. That's the part about the only thing that sucked. Like this movie was a good movie, but the part to me that sucked about this movie was the simple fact that everything just felt so different from the nature of the Predator. And if they are moving in the way of making it a matriarchal kind of society and amongst the what were they called again? I know you just said it. The Yautja. Yeah, but it's to make them into a matriarchal society amongst the Yautja. It's just kind of like I don't know if that more or less kind of follows the lore of Predator is all. Not that I'm trying to say that there will be any problem with it. I don't think that I wouldn't care. It wouldn't be a problem to me at least. I'm sure it would be a problem to others. But it just my larger problem is the lore. Is how much it goes against the actual lore.
Well, I gave it a 7 out of 10. D gave it a 6 out of 10. What you give it, Niall?
I think I'm with D, where I'll go with a 6 out of 10. It wasn't like the thing is, as much as the lore part pissed me off, as much as it did, it still was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm a sucker when if you want me to be in line with liking a movie, in most cases, all you got to do is just tell a story that's willing to keep me engaged from beginning to end. That's the simple part about me when it comes to movie watching and movie consumption. That's all I need from the story. Is I need the story to say, I'm gonna keep your attention. You may not like certain parts of this, but I'm gonna keep your attention all the way through. Reasons why I say that Sinners, I know a lot of people had a lot of gripes with Sinners, and I'm not even saying that I don't understand where those gripes came from, especially like with specifically the conclusion of it all. But the movie, listen, in terms of storytelling, the movie kept me interested and kept me not only interested during the film, but interested after the film, and that's why I think it was the best movie that came out this year. Because it's what you do with the story and how you tell the story is the part, and I thought they did a good job with that part. As much as I hated the kind of weird lore changes here. Yep.
Okay.
That's it though. That's all I got. 6 out of 10 though. 6 out of 10 because the lore still was it turned me off a lot. The changes to the lore at least turned me off a lot. So yeah, that's where I think my score can't go into that 7, 8, 9, 10 echelon of
Got you.
scores.
I'm gonna say this real quick to you before we
Close
before
out.
we,
Gotcha.
did a little search. So it's like different iterations of the female Yautja. So in one iteration, they're bigger, faster, stronger than the men, and typically the men will go out and hunt and be more reckless, where the women tend to either hunt together or they're more calculated with their hunts. Then the second one is they're smaller than the men, but they're faster and more dangerous in that they typically use their
Like
cloaking more. So
cheetahs.
it's more like cheetahs, but it's kind of like if you were fighting, let's say you were fighting like the Flash versus fighting like the Hulk. Like Hulk coming at you, you see him. Cheetah, like the female Yautja are going to be using their cloaking more, and you're going to get cut, sliced, your arm will fall off. Next thing you know, you're dead, and you don't really know what hit you. And then it's like they move on to the next thing. They kind of like play around with you until they're done, and then they move on to the next. They're not like seriously hunting you like the predator is, like we see in movies. It's always like the predator going slow and just doing all this and that. It's like they say the females are just a little bit more dangerous and faster. So that's all I saw.
Okay. All right. With that being said, everyone, thank you for coming through. Really do appreciate it. If you can, hit that like, smash that naughty bell for any new content from us. There will be an episode 4 of Dairy Reaction from yours truly. Since the episode 4 drops tonight. Series fire so far. D, you need to watch it. I know Niall's been watching it.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm excited to watch
Really
the one
good.
tonight.
Welcome to Dairy.
Okay.
So 3 episodes out right now. Episode 4 drops in a half hour. Expect a video from me probably tomorrow the latest. On my thoughts. How reckless. I'm not gonna lie, it's a YN in this one. He is very tamed in those It movies, but in this Welcome to Dairy D, this man is a YN. He does not care. He don't care. He is a son. When you watch that first
you talking
episode,
about it?
He's a YN. He took it easy. He took it easy on those kids in it. Chapter 1 and 2. He took it easy on them. Oh my goodness, man.
Pennywise took it easy?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Pennywise is a YN in Welcome to Dairy. He is a YN. This man has no chill. No chill. Watch the first.
Netflix?
No, it's on HBO Max. So watch the first episode. You'll understand what I'm talking about. No one is safe. Literally. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
No.
So you don't know about the Red Wedding.
Not at all.
So when you watch that first episode, text us. Text the group chat.
I got you.
Especially that first episode. That uppercut it to you in attention. Watch. But once again, thank you for everyone coming through. Check you guys out later. We'll be back on next week. It might just be us 3. We don't know if Sage's gonna be back from the island. We don't know where he going. This man out. Enjoy yourself, Sage. You bum. Peace.
These dreams on the road to riches, focus on the ticket, maximize my means. It's like now I'm just trying to float. There's a couple holes up in this boat. Dose my mind just so I can grow. They focus on the dial, feel like I'm a migrant, just touch a new island. Every time I smoke, regardless, ain't no way I'ma miss my target when I got it locked up in my scope.
Watch out for the snakes in the